This is important. The first call that you make, the first time you touch base with the customer, it's important to understand what issues, what problems the company, the customer, or the person you're dealing with is having. That is crucial in sales. Unless you understand the problem, you cannot sell to them. Understanding the problem is not only good in the beginning, it's also very, very crucial in negotiating and very, very crucial in closing. And we're going to take it step by step. So trust me, bear with me. The first time you're touching base, the first time you speak to a client, the first time you see someone face to face, you sell to that person by actually not necessarily taking too much information on the business. Sometimes it could be something which is totally irrelevant to the business. Let me give you an example. Often what happens is if I call a company, the receptionist might pick up or someone else picks up and says, the person is away, they're on holiday and they're not in today, right? I will always ask and I will always say, not a problem, gone anywhere nice? I will always ask that question. I will always ask, in a very, very gentle and soft way, is there something, are they away, doing something nice? Everything all right? Whatever, depending on what they say, right? And the receptionist might just turn around and be like, oh yeah, he's just gone to Greece, or he's just gone here. Oh no, he's got a bereavement that he needs to attend to, or something like that, right? Which, guess what? The next time I call, I will address that bereavement. I will address that holiday. I will mention it. And I might say something like, hey, Mark, I know you were away last week. You were away at Greece. I spoke to the receptionist. She said, look, give a call this week. And then I'll go into the conversation. That all of a sudden, it's done something. It's made me stand out from every single other person. I know something no one else does. And that is crucial. And there are many ways you do that. You do that by one. If someone picks up the phone and they take their name, let's say Rebecca picks up the phone and Rebecca says, hey, Rebecca, ABC Limited speaking. Your response should be, hey, Rebecca, you always address their name. You see, when you take their name, it makes it all that personable. So let's say, for example, there is a Hussein listening and watching this right now. For anyone that has Hussein in your surname or your first name, or let's say there's a Ahmed, let's say there's a Bilal, let's say there's a Hamza, right? Let's say there's a Haris, let's say there is a Muhammad. Now, for any names that I've taken right now, you guys would have all of a sudden, your ears would have stood up and you would have been like, oh, he took my name, right? That is the point. You don't realize it, but subconsciously taking someone's name makes it very, very personable. And that is exactly what you're trying to do. So when you're dealing with someone, you always refer to them by their name, right? And you always bring out the fact that you are mentioning the name, even if that's face to face, that's in a client meeting, you're going to sell a product, in a shop maybe, even if that's like, for example, if I was in a shop and I was selling, trainers, right? And a customer came in, I would say something like, let's say I really wanted to sell these trainers to this customer. I would say something like, oh, sorry, you said your name was, I would say that. Sorry, you said your name was, they take their name. Okay, now let's say they said, oh, my name, oh, it's Mark, right? You're like, Mark, listen, lovely to meet you, by the way. So this is what we're doing. What is it you're looking, bearing in mind, and we're going to go into this later. It's very important to understand how you go about the sale, but I wouldn't start selling the trainers. I would say, so Mark, what's the main reason you're looking for some trainers at the moment? I would understand why Mark is looking for the trainers, and I would understand the problem Mark is having and the value that I can provide him. That is the crucial thing here.